The psychology of people who cut everyone off. You haven't texted anyone in 3 months. Your birthday came and went. No plans, no complaints, no explanation. Someone asked if you wanted to hang out, and you said, "I'm busy." And for the first time in your life, that wasn't a lie. You were busy protecting your peace, busy choosing silence over disappointment. And honestly, you've never felt lighter. People call you cold now. They say you changed, that you cut everyone off. But here's the question no one is asking. What if you didn't cut people off? What if you just stopped pretending you weren't already alone? Let's talk about the psychology of people who walk away from everyone. Because, spoiler alert, it's not the villain origin story people think it is. First, let's clear something up. You didn't wake up heartless. You woke up after years of being the friend who always showed up, the one who drove hours for someone else's crisis, the one who remembered birthdays like it was a full-time job. You were the reliable one, the glue, the emotional support system everyone leaned on, until one day you needed something. And suddenly, silence. Maybe one half-hearted "sorry to hear that" text. Maybe someone said they'd call you back. They didn't. And that's when the math stopped making sense. Your brain did something fascinating, without asking for permission. It started running cost-benefit analyses. Every interaction became a calculation. How much energy does this take? How much do I give? And what am I actually getting back? And the data was brutal. You were always the one texting first, always adjusting your schedule, always canceling your needs to make room for theirs. And when you finally looked at how often they did the same, nothing. Just emotional tumbleweeds. This is where psychology gets interesting. Your nervous system, that incredible survival machine, started recognizing a pattern. Every time you let someone in, every time you showed up with your whole heart, you eventually ended up alone holding the pieces. The friend who disappeared when you got depressed? The partner who left when things got hard? Your brain learned a dangerous equation. Connection equals eventual abandonment. So you did the only thing you could control. You controlled the exit. Here's the part that confuses people. Abandonment hurts less when you initiate it. They call it self-sabotage. You call it pattern recognition. And this didn't start in adulthood. Somewhere back in childhood, you learned a quiet lesson. People leave, or people hurt. Maybe a parent was physically present but emotionally gone. Maybe you learned early that asking for help meant hearing, "not now," or "figure it out yourself," or worse, nothing at all. Maybe your feelings were labeled inconvenient. "Don't be so sensitive. Other kids have it worse." So you learned needing people was dangerous. Your nervous system absorbed that lesson while it was still developing, still trying to understand the world. Those early experiences became your blueprint. They drew the map of what connection looks like, what love costs, what you can expect when you let someone in. Every adult relationship just confirmed it. Eventually, the love runs out. Eventually, you're on your own. Not because you're broken, because you learned. People say you've built walls, but you didn't build walls, you built boundaries. Walls keep everyone out. Boundaries keep the wrong people out. But after years of only the wrong people showing up, those boundaries start looking like walls. And maybe that's okay. This phase isn't about rejecting connection forever. It's about refusing indiscriminate access. You didn't stop wanting people. You stopped accepting anyone who felt familiar but unsafe. Now you see patterns instantly. The friend who only texts when they need something, the way they never ask how you are, the people who are present when life is easy and vanish when it isn't. "Let's hang out soon" becomes code for never. "I'll call when things calm down," and things never calm down. You've developed what psychologists call hypervigilance, not paranoia, accuracy. You read micro-patterns others miss, tone shifts, convenient excuses, effort that only flows one way. This isn't pessimism, it's data collection, and the data keeps proving you right. So you stop doing the dramatic exits. You don't fight, you don't explain. You just stop initiating, stop trying, and wait to see if they notice. They rarely do, and that tells you everything. The loneliest you've ever felt wasn't after you cut everyone off, it was before. Sitting in rooms full of people and feeling invisible, being in a relationship and still feeling fundamentally alone. The isolation didn't create the loneliness, it just stopped pretending the loneliness wasn't already there. And here's what shocks people most. It doesn't hurt like you expected. The solo holidays, the birthday with no texts, handling emergencies alone because there's no one to call, you expected devastation. Instead, you got quiet, and quiet became your favorite sound. People don't understand why you choose isolation over connection. They don't see that for you, isolation isn't the opposite of connection. It's the absence of rejection. It's the one place where you can't be abandoned because no one is close enough to leave. You're not cold, you're clear. You're not closed off, you're protected. This isn't giving up connection forever. It's refusing the broken version of it that's been offered over and over again. It's saying, if this is what relationships are, one-sided effort, endless performing, waiting for people who never show up, then I'd rather have none. And here's what no one tells you about choosing yourself. It's not selfish, it's survival. You can't keep pouring from an empty cup into people who treat you like a convenience store, open when they need you, forgotten when they don't. You're not the villain in their story. No matter what they say when you're not there to defend yourself, you're just someone who stopped waiting and started showing up for yourself. Maybe one day you'll try again. Maybe you'll meet people who make connection feel safe instead of terrifying. Maybe you'll find relationships that don't require you to beg to be seen. But right now, you're protecting the part of yourself that still remembers how it felt to hope. Because cutting everyone off isn't the absence of love. It's the presence of self-preservation. It's your nervous system finally saying, enough. You're not cold, you're surviving. You're not giving up, you're finally putting yourself first. And those walls you built, they're not trapping you, they're keeping you alive. They're giving you space to heal, to become someone who might one day try again, but only on terms that honor who you are. This isn't the ending people wanted for you. It's the one that's keeping you whole. If this resonated, subscribe and watch the next video. This channel isn't about judging your patterns, it's about understanding them and learning how to build connection that doesn't cost you yourself.